Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in to answer a very popular question today, and that is how to become a life coach. And also, what is life coaching? Now, first, let me help you understand this. Uh, Myself, I've been a professional coach for 13 years now. I am also the founder of MyMentor.life, which is a site where coaches, certified coaches, can join to be introduced to clients. Our coaches are booked every day, and the site is marketed to tens of thousands of people a day. So, the reason why I started coaching, to be honest with you, is because I wrote a book and a nonfiction book answering relationship questions from college age women when I was in college. And after that, I happened to be on a teleseminar by phone, teleseminar. And the guy said, if you've written a nonfiction book, then you can coach on that topic when people reach out to you with more questions about the contents of your book. So I said, okay, So people kept writing me on Facebook. I published in 2007. People were writing me on Facebook, hey, I got more questions. Hey, I got more questions. I'm like, you know what? This takes time. They see me as a professional. They see me as a expert, or whatever they would call it. When you write a book, the media, the people who read it, deem you as an expert on that subject. I didn't give myself a title. And so I said, hey, would love to work with you in a coaching session. I charge $25 an hour. That's how I got started. In 2007, there were no mass marketing. Like, there all this internet marketing you see, all the ads you see. It was not like that in 2007, of course. And there were coaching was a thing, and there were coaching certification courses, but nowhere near as many as they are today. And it was just kind of the wild, wild west. So I just started coaching. And one thing that you have to understand about coaching is certification is not required. So it is recommended. Certification is not required because coaching is not regulated by the government like counseling and therapy. So even be a counselor, a real counselor, certified counselor, you have to get a bachelor's degree and you have to take a test. You have to get certified. Well, coaching, that's not the case. And that's what makes coaching so unique and so different. And a lot of people are trying to mix the two, but they're totally different. Because, see, a coach is kind of that person who, you have the one kung fu teacher who went to all the schools and took all the training, and, he learned it that way. And then you have the one who his uncle taught him, and he just was in the front yard doing all the moves, and he learned everything like that. And this guy goes and can beat anybody, and wins all the tournaments. And this guy, he's classically, traditionally trained, and he's really good, but he just doesn't have that knack. That's kind of how it can be sometimes with coaching. And then you have therapy, so and counselors. With coaching is more so intended for individuals who have a deep passion, a profound, wisdom or service heart, a servant's heart. That's more so coaching. A coach may not be able to read. A coach could be a person who can't read, can be a person who's illiterate. A coach could be a person who is a servant and they're self-taught. A coach could be a person who never went to high school, who dropped out in the 8th grade to take care of their family. That can be a coach. I have a client who has a 9th grade education and became a multimillionaire. And I have other clients like that. Guess what? She can coach on confidence, be a business coach, be a consultant, because she's a multimillionaire. And I have several clients like that who never got a college degree but became millionaires. And so that's what you have to understand with coaching. Don't try to mix it and say, oh, What certification is required? Oh, who certified you? Oh, what is your degree in? That's not coaching. That's counseling and therapy. And there's a difference. Now, with counselors and therapists, because some of you going to be watching this and y'all get so defensive because you went to school for all of those years and took all of those tests and passed all of those tests and got a degree, and then therapists can come out of school and be making $30-$40 an hour and be working with a company. Or I have a client who, she's a therapist and she works under a company, so they send her clients, the bill is $90 and she gets $40 of that or $35 of that. Whereas me as a coach, we have the same level of success, we're the same age, but my coaching fee is $275 an hour. And if you need a session immediately within 48 hours, what we call a VIP session, is $500 an hour. And so she's looking and she's like, I went to all this school, I got a master's degree, and I'm making $40 an hour. And so that's the thing. It's kind of like, what can happen with coaching is a person sees what you do. So they see your book, they see your YouTube videos, they see your post online, they see your blogs, they see what you do, and that's what sells a client on you. Whereas with therapy, you can just, you can join a site, you can work for a company, and your clients are sent to you. They're not picking you. They're not saying, wow, I love your body of work, and so that's why I'm going to hire you. They're looking at the profession, and it's like anyone will do. So, hey, found you on psychologytoday.com, and which is similar to my mentor.life, but with coaching, you more so, before my mentor.life, you just had to get out there and get it how you live. You got to build a brand and you got to show your worth, and you do the work, then you'll eat. So there's some differences. Another difference with coaching is coaching, you do not diagnose or prescribe. So what I mean by that, there's a lot of terms that people use. So I may describe what I call a grown boy, and then a person hears me describing what I call a grown boy, and they use the clinical term, and they may say, well, you're describing a narcissist. And it's like, no, I'm not actually describing that, because that is a clinical term. I'm describing real life that I've lived and seen countless other people live, and it does not fit inside of that definition that you just gave a clinical term, which you are not authorized to give because you are not a doctor and you do not know how to diagnose people. And that's where people go wrong. See, with coaching, you're not diagnosing and labeling and then prescribing a treatment plan or using a treatment plan, and then you have no ability, you are not and cannot prescribe medicine. So a coach cannot write a prescription that you can take to the pharmacy. A coach cannot accept insurance payments because a coach is not regulated by the state, by the government. So insurance will not cover a coach because there is no formal regulation. Now you have companies that pop up. So almost 30 years ago, a company like ICF popped up, started by a guy. He's since passed away, but it was formed as a nonprofit, so they have a board that outlived him. He, from what I've read, is he sounded like a serial entrepreneur. Started ICF, it's like he fell out with them, started several other coaching type companies, and was said to be traveling the world in his RV, traveling the country, living out of an RV. And in his 50s, I believe it was 53, eventually passed away from, I'm guessing, natural causes. And so ICF still exists, and there's other companies out there similar to it. And essentially what they're trying to do is kind of be a governing body, but technically they don't have any power. It's kind of like, hey, we have knowledge, we have resources. If you like to be a part of our tribe, be a part of our team, then yes, come on. We have looked at some courses and we have given them our stamp of approval as an accredited course, and we have membership, we have some resources for you. You pay an annual membership fee. But when you look at ICF, it's a situation like it's a nonprofit. They bring in about $11 million a year. $6 million of that is membership fees. And you're paying to be a member to get the resources that they provide. Also, it kind of gives you a covering. It's kind of the same thing as people trying to make coaching academic. So we struggle in our world with freelancing. We struggle in our world with not having accreditation, a title, a certification, a stamp. It's like, who are you? Who certified you? What is your degree in? What did you study? We live in that type of world to where we're so programmed by education and higher learning, and you got to go to college and get a degree and then get a master's and then get a doctorate, and then people wear their degrees on their forehead. But when you truly look into the world and you see a lot of the people who are really, really doing it, the Oprah Winfreys, the Bill Gates, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Warren Buffetts, the Jay-Z's, the P. Diddy's, or whoever it may be, the Elon Musk or whoever, they're not confined, or we don't describe them by their education, by their degree, and what college they went to. They took and just did the work and let the work speak for itself. So there is a struggle to where you got a lot of people who come from the academic world who come into coaching and say, hey, let me come in and let me, capitalize on this thing that's going on because it's blowing up. Let me capitalize on it and let me kind of control these dummies, because coaching doesn't require a degree. So let me come in with all of these letters behind my name, and it's going to be impressive to these people who didn't go to school. And so if I create a certification course, or if I create an agency or a company that gives accreditation, then I'm going to be highly touted and respected, and I still can come in and rule and reign. And so that's kind of why people like myself have disrupted things, because I went to college 8 years, but I started my career as an author and a speaker and a coach, and also became a husband and a father. And I left college after going from full-time to part-time. I left college after 8 years with no degree and 20 credits short of my criminal justice degree. And I just never went back. And frankly, there's no degree in college that I could earn that would allow me to earn the living that I earn now. So I've earned far past doctors and what have you, but I just created business. And I use my natural gifts. And sometimes people have come and say, oh, you're going to go back to college? For what? For what? I can't charge you anymore for anything just because I have a degree. Like, that doesn't mean anything to you. You're going to look at my body of work and what I've produced, and that's how you determine if the prices on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com are worthy. But what you have here is you kind of thrown to the wolves when you go out to be a coach, because it's always going to be wolves. It's always going to be sharks. If you're on land, it's going to be wolves. If you're in the ocean, it's going to be sharks. And so when you go out there, a lot of people come right in and they say, hey, Tony, is your certification course accredited by ICF? And the answer is no, because there is no accreditation. because ICF says we can stamp you, but no one stamped ICF. ICF is started by an entrepreneur just like you. So you can start ACF, ECF, ABCDEFG, and you can start that, find your board, and start going to courses and saying, get our accreditation. That's not backed by the government like a university. See, a state university, Florida State University, Florida University of Florida, the Gators, the Seminoles, they are backed and held accountable by the state of Florida. So they receive an accreditation to be an accredited university by the state of Florida. That's the difference between that and like a private school who still has a governing body. Coaching does not have that. And so let me help you understand this. Is there aren't really jobs like in the corporate world hiring life coaches. So to say, hey, I took a course that is accredited by such and such company. A corporate company is like, okay, and who is that? Where coaching is intended to be an entrepreneurial venture. It's something that you can go and pitch yourself to companies to say, hey, I would like to be the morale coach for your office. So every Monday I will come in and be here from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. and have 30-minute sessions with your employees who would like to have a free coaching session that's paid for by you, by the company. And so I do that for middle school, high school, college, and professional sports teams. So by building my brand, I was able to do that. And what happens is the company, the organization, the school, they put me on retainer and require a certain amount of days, 1 day a month, 2 days a month, 2 days a week, that I come in and mentor, coach their students, athletes, associates, employees, what have you. So that is a thing. So understand that can happen, but a client, out of all of those companies that I've worked with and schools that I've worked with, not one has ever said, what is your degree in? Who trained you? Who certified you? Was the course accredited? None of them asked that. They looked at my books. They looked at my tweets. They looked at my Google search. They looked at my YouTube video. They looked at my bio. They looked at my body of work. And that's how they saw what I was doing and said, hey, this will be a good fit for our students or our athletes or our company. So that's the difference with coaching. It's more so about what you do than what you say. Like, it's more so about your work, your heart, your service, what you bring. Whereas when you're in an academic world, you can just come and say, hey, I am Dr. such and such. And that speaks for itself. You could be the absolute worst doctor, but because you passed the test and you are a great test taker and you're able to put doctor in front of your name, you may not have any common sense, but just because you have that stamp that says doctor, then now it speaks for itself. Whereas with a coach, your road is tougher because you got to show and prove, because there are no letters before or after your name that go before you and is world renowned, recognized worldwide, that speak on your behalf as a coach. It's, you have to be worth your weight in gold. If you want to be hired by a company and put on retainer to mentor or coach their employees or what have you. So understand that. So now to become a coach, literally, honestly, to be honest with you, and not working against myself because I do have a certification program, but to become a coach, you don't have to be certified. You can just start coaching. You can operate in your gift, whatever your gift is. You can operate in your gift. I did not take a certification course because that just really wasn't a thing when I got started. That's how open it was. There was one course that I remember, and it was a Christian coaching certification, and it was $2,500. And my dad took it, and he was just totally upset. He was so angry because he was like, I paid $2,500, my hard-earned money that I had to be on a payment plan, paying $200 a month, and it was terrible. We read out of some guy's book that I had to buy off Amazon. I'm reading the book. It's not even about life coaching. And then once a week, I get on the phone with this person who I know more in my pinky toe than they know in their entire brain, and they're asking me stupid questions, and he was totally upset. So after that, him and I went to a beach house, and I wrote a manuscript. I wrote a book, Life Coaching A to Z, and I wrote exams, and I created a life coaching training because I had real success in the real world. By that time, I had become a life coach in the NBA, working with teams, working with players in the NCAA, which is college teams and players. I had become an intercontinental speaker. I had become a celebrity coach. So I had built from the ground up, from scratch. No following, no team, no training, no certification. I learned the real way on how to build a coaching business. And that's why I created my life coach certification program, which is in the description on Tony Gasson's Academy. Now, here's the thing with the pricing. My dad's course that he took was $2,500. So when I started mine in 2013, I made it $1,500 because I wanted to beat that by $1,000. Today, it's online. I used to teach it by phone once a week for 10 weeks, and it just became too much. And so it's online, self-directed, self-paced, and it's recommended, but it's not required. If you have a fat 401k, a nice savings, and you want to go get an office downtown in your city, and you want to put up billboards, or you want to put signs on the park benches, you want to print up business cards and flyers and pass them out, you want to name your company, get your logo, and put it on the fences of all the baseball parks, just like the lawyers do in your city. If you want to do that today as a coach, consultant, paid mentor, you can do that, and no one can stop you. Anywhere in the world, you can do that, and no one can stop you. But it's kind of like a thing like, I watch Ninja Warrior on Netflix, right? So it's like one of those things to where it's like, okay, I see Ninja Warrior. To go on the show and win that money, you don't have to be a certified ninja. And I may be athletic, but those little things are kind of complicated, and you got to learn how they work. So if there's a training center available for me to go do the Ninja Warrior training, although it's not required and I don't have to be a certified ninja, if the training is available, I'm going to go take it because it's going to make it easier on me when I go perform. That's the same thing with coaching. Counseling and therapy, you don't have that option. You can't just go open an office and saying, hey, I'm a mental health therapist. No, you will be in jail. But with coaching, you can go say, hey, I'm Coach Tony, Life Coach Tony, mentor, consultant, what have you, because you're not diagnosing and you're not prescribing. So with coaching is essentially, you are a motivational friend. You are a support system. You are an accountability partner. You are helping your client express themselves. With coaching is not for you to work with people that are just downtrodden, beaten up, depressed, just losing everything. No, coaching is actually for you to work with people who have a hold on life and they're just trying to get over the hump. They're actually driven and motivated, but they're just trying to figure some things out, make a plan, set their goals, make a plan, and then be held accountable along the way. Coaching is not about how great of advice you can give, how wise you feel you are, how being a guru. Coaching is not about that. Coaching is about having a servant's heart, that you want to serve and you want to help others as you are helping yourself. And what I mean by helping yourself is when you are supporting others and you're speaking into the life of your clients, it's actually motivating and inspiring you. And so everyone can be a coach, but each coach may be different. And what I mean by that is you may be a coach that you work a full-time job and your Facebook post gets you one client that pays you $400, $500 or more a month. I have clients who have hired me who they have clients that pay them up to $4,000 or $5,000 a month for coaching. So you may be a coach that works with one client at whatever price per month, and that's the extent of your coaching. Or you may be a coach that works with, like myself, 20 to 40 people a month at whatever rate that you come up with, and it's a full-time thing. Like Coach Wise, she took my certification program. She started her coaching business. Eventually she came to me and said, "Hey Tony, I want you to do the life coach certification in Charlotte." They're fixing my roofs. Excuse the background noise, so I'm gonna hurry up and finish. And I said, "Hey, you do the training. You came to a training. You come to a lot of trainings. You know how to train. You do the training." So now she is a certified instructor under the Tony Gaskins Academy life coach certification. And so that's another stream of income for her. So she's coaching one-on-one. She's group coaching. She's doing trainings. And so now she's full-time. So in less than a year, she was able to leave her job and to become a full-time coach. She's that type of coach. There's some coaches who got on mymentor.life. I talked to a guy. He works a full-time job. He actually works in roofing. Somebody on my roof right now, fixing my roof. He actually works in roofing, but in the month of March, he had 12 or 13, over 12 sessions. I can't remember if he said 12 or 13 sessions, which was great additional income to what he does. If he's just started coaching professionally January or February and already getting more than 10 clients in a month, at the 1 year mark, he may be in a position to leave his job as a roofer and coach full time. So it's different, but everybody can be a coach. It doesn't mean you'll be full time. It may mean you just coach on your days off from your job. It's great for retired people who you don't have to go to a job and you get a retirement check. So if you have one client, it doesn't really matter. You're not failing because it's additional income and you're helping someone else. So understand these things about coaching. Hopefully I dispel some myths. You don't have to be certified. Accreditation is not a real thing. It's just a word, really, because it's not backed by the government. It's not regulated by the state, or federal government. So it's kind of just something that's recommended. With certification, it's pretty much all the same. Like, you shouldn't be certified and trained on how to coach like a specific topic, really, because you develop your style yourself. If you are using a technique or methodology, that's no different than a therapist using a treatment plan. And that's dangerous because that's not life coaching. So that's academics coming into coaching, trying to make it like therapy. And that's when you increase your liability. That's when you run the risk of really getting in trouble because your methodology could be wrong. Whereas coaching, you're literally listening and you're asking great questions. And then you may give some input or some things to think about, but you're not giving methodologies and philosophies and treatment plans like a therapist may use. So understand that. So with my particular coaching certification, it's teaching you what coaching is. It's teaching you the intangibles of coaching, like integrity, the importance of integrity. And then it's teaching you how to choose your lane, what you should be coaching on. Then it teaches you how to build your coaching business, how to market and network, how to work on your image. Then it goes into some basic coaching techniques, like common things that you will be coaching on, like helping a person identify their purpose, helping a person who wants to leave their job, helping a person who wants to heal from a breakup. So it's coaching A to Z, but it's not going in to say, listen, this is how on a coaching session about relationships, this is what you say. And then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, so that you're in there and you're like a robot trying to go by a script. That's not coaching. Coaching is you're a natural sage. It's you, it's your fingerprint. It's unique to you. It's your gifting, the way you listen and relate and speak into the life of individuals. It's unique to you. So understand these things about coaching. And it's a lot of courses out there. You can Google it. You will see. Oh, lastly, with the pricing, it's kind of a thing like you got True Religion jeans, but they may be no better than Levi's. But because True Religion is a brand, they charge $250 for a pair of jeans, and you get the same pair of jeans, same quality for $50, $25. That's kind of how it is with life coaching. You know, John Maxwell has a certification course, but he's John Maxwell, so it's going to be $5,000 or more, $5,000 to $10,000. Tony Robbins has a course, but he's Tony Robbins. Tony Gaskins, myself, I have a course. My course online is $1,000. It used to be $1,500. It's $1,000. If you use the coupon code, make sure you put the coupon code in. It's my mentor. When you use the coupon code, you're going to see a discount that's going to bless you. I can't say the percentage because it changes. So whenever you see this, you just got to check it. But when you put the coupon code, if you click buy on, if you go to the page, the home page, let me explain this because people mess this up all the time. If you're on the coaching page and you're reading about the course and you watch the intro video and you decide that you want to take the course, when you click buy now, it's going to take you to the next page, which is a checkout page. On that page, make sure that you scroll around the page. If you're on your cell phone, that you scroll the whole page and you click have a coupon. When you click have a coupon, then type in my mentor, not .life. You type in my mentor, no spaces, no caps, my mentor. Then you click apply. Then you're going to see the price drop. People write in every day, it didn't take the code. I didn't see the code. I got to go there, bamming. And I'm like, you didn't look for it. You rush it. It's right there in your face. So make sure you click have a coupon, enter the code, hit apply, then you're going to see a discount. Why is my course so cheap compared to other courses? It's because it doesn't really require all that. I could charge $5,000 and people could Google me and Google Tony Gaskins net worth, Google CEO. Tony Gaskins went on Oprah. Oh, Tony Gaskins has written over 20 books, and has book deals. And Tony Gaskins is an international speaker. And you could, Tony Gaskins has 3 million followers online. You can look at my brand and my resume and say, this is worth $5,000 and pay it. I could get $5,000 for it, but I believe in integrity. I believe in charging what stuff costs. So why am I going to charge you $5,000, $10,000 for something that is a side job for you something that you may never go full time in, something that you may never take fully serious, something that may not work out for you. I don't want you to have to go in your 401k to see if professional coaching is for you. And then also, you don't need a certification course. It's not required by law. So why am I going to charge you $5,000 for something that is not required by law to even have? So here's the thing. You go to college and it may have cost tens of thousands, and you may not even be working in your degree field. You may not even have a job. I know people with doctorates, degrees, and can't get a job. Whereas I know people with no degree took my certification course and are making more as a coach than they made on their full-time job. So it can go both ways. So my course is inexpensive because I don't want you to lose sleep over it. If you take it today and you change your mind next week, I don't want you to feel like you just tapped out your savings, or you just ruined your future, or you can't eat next month because of what you spent on a course. And that's what the problem is with the industry today. It's a lot of sharks. It's a lot of people who they just money focused, and they're coming in to just take advantage of people's dreams and their hopes, and they want to price gouge because they know that you hate your job that much that you will go into your 401k or go into your emergency savings and plop down $5,000, $10,000 to take a course that guarantees no success. And they ride on off in their yacht with your $10,000 and you on your own. So what I done created is to try to change the industry and affect the industry in a positive way, because I built from a 22-year-old from the ground up with no mentor and no team. So my situation is different. So you could take the certification, or you could take another certification, but after you feel ready, that's when you could join my mentor.life to be introduced to clients. So clients can see your blog post, see your bio, look at your schedule, click and pay to book you. And so I'm trying to create a system that not only gets you trained on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, but then also helps you get clients. So hey, there you go. You ready to be a coach? Jump on out there and start coaching. If you're not feeling fully confident, then find a certification course that works for you. Take the course. One of my students in my last live course, she had taken another course. Several other students have taken other courses. Don't have analysis paralysis. It's not that deep. Okay, so you don't have to go take 50 courses. It's simple for a reason, because coaching in the coaching industry is simple. If you see a course that takes a year to get through the course, it's smoke and mirrors. If you see a course that takes months to get through the course, it's smoke and mirrors. You talking to a successful coach. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. I don't want to speak numbers because people say, oh, you're bragging. So I ain't going to speak numbers. But listen, you talking to a successful coach who did not take a certification course, but instead became the certification course because I learned the hard way how to build it and created a certification course, and I'm charging what it's worth, and I'm giving it to you, and you could finish the training in one day because it's not rocket science. If it was rocket science, then you would be an astronaut. If it was meant to take a year to complete, then you might as well go be a therapist where you have to do all of that. Coaching is intended for passionate people with a heart for service to be able to identify how to brand themselves as a coach and start getting clients. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.